Emily Pankhurst was a leading British women's rights activist who led the movement to win the right for women to vote. Emily was born on the 14th of July 1858 in Manchester into a family with a tradition of radical politics. In 1879, she married Richard Pankhurst, a lawyer and supporter of the women's suffrage movement. He was the author of the Married Women's Property Acts in 1870 and 1882, which allowed women to keep earnings or property acquired before and after marriage. His death in 1898 was a great shock to Emily. In 1889, Emily founded the Women's Franchise League, which fought to allow married women to vote in local elections. In October 1903, she helped found the more militant Women's Social and Political Union, an organisation that gained much attention for its activities and whose members were the first ones to be christened the Suffragettes. Emily's daughters, Christabel and Sylvia, were both active in the cause. British politicians, press, and public were astonished by the demonstrations, window smashing, arson, and hunger strikes of the suffragettes. In 1913, one of the members, Emily Davison, was killed when she threw herself under the King's horse at the Derby as a protest at the government's continued failure to grant women the right to vote. Like many suffragettes, Emily was arrested on numerous occasions over the next few years and went on hunger strikes herself, resulting in violent force feeding. In 1913, in response to a wave of hunger strikes, the government passed what became known as the Cat and Mouse Act. Hunger striking prisoners were released until they grew strong again, and then they were rearrested. This period of militancy was ended abruptly on the outbreak of war in 1914, when Emily turned her energies to supporting the war effort. In 1918, the Representation of the People Act gave voting rights to women over 30. Emily died on the 14th of June 1928. Shortly after, women were granted equal voting rights with men at 21. Emily gave many great speeches, one of which was her very famous "We are not here to be lawbreakers, we are here to become lawmakers" speech. We featured that speech in our very own performance.
My friends, despite Her Majesty's government, I am here tonight. I know the sacrifice you have made to be here. Many of you, I know, are estranged from the lives you once had. Yet I feel your spirit tonight. For 50 years, we have laboured peacefully to secure the vote for women. We've been ridiculed, battered and ignored. Now we have realised that deeds and sacrifice must be the order of the day. We are fighting for a time in which every little girl born in the world will have an equal chance with her brothers. Never underestimate the power we women have to define our own destinies. We do not want to be law breakers. We want to be law makers. Be militant, each of you in her own way. Those of you who can break windows, break them. Those of you who can further attack the sacred idol of property, do so. We have been left with no alternative but to defy this government. If we must go to prison to obtain this vote, let it be the windows of government and not the bodies of women that are broken. I incite this meeting and all the women of Britain to rebellion. I would rather be a rebel than a slave. Never surrender. Never give up the fight.